What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk to you about Sofi. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down what moved it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So Sofi surprisingly closed 1.54% in the red. 27.11 the low, 28.63 the high, and then 59.6 million shares being traded. 65.1 is the average. During the pre-market, and in fact even the overnight, you did see a lot of volume. And not only that, but things showed that it was going to be hitting probably that $29 range. As soon as the market did open, you had all hell broke loose and things just went lower. Every time I see this type of price action, as soon as the market does open, instantly I think manipulation. Only because big money waits up until the market does open, they buy puts very fast, and then they are free to bring the stock price down. That way their puts do appreciate, and it is what it is. Happens a little bit too frequently than I'd like to see, but nonetheless, that's what happened with Sofi. Aside from that, there wasn't any news from Sofi, no SEC filings. Coming from a macro standpoint, we had a couple of Fed speakers, but nothing that really moved the market all that much. We did have pending home sales, both month over month and year over year, a little bit hotter than the forecast. So not necessarily the best for the broader market, in my opinion, although the market didn't really move all that much because of this. Same goes for the likelihood of a cut. So nothing really came out associated to this. Jolt numbers tomorrow, that one will be a big one. That's going to be coming out first thing. So we have Jolt numbers and also consumer confidence. So that should really move the market. And most likely that's why some stocks did actually pull a little bit lower in the last 15 minutes of the trading day. It's just last minute feeders because of that. But interestingly enough, there was a couple things that did come out that caused Sofi to go lower. And once I go over them, you'll kind of realize how stupid it was. But we did get a new rating. $18 sell, Morgan Stanley, Jeffrey, who has a 40% success rating. And so quickly popping over here, so you can see all of Jeffrey's previous ratings. So last one was in July 30th. It was a $13 price target. Prior to that was July the 10th, so a good 20 days before that was $11 sell, $6 target, $13,750. This guy has been absolutely wrong every single time. So this has been the first time that Sofi's actually, or in a while, that Sofi's received a bearish rating that actually did affect the stock price. When Sofi was really moving higher, we did get a fair share of ratings, negative ratings, but market just said, F you, go away, we're on our way up. So this is the first time a bearish rating actually did stall Sofi's push higher. So rather interesting. Nonetheless, though, if you want to think about it, this is the highest rating that Jeffrey's ever given Sofi. So I guess indirectly, he's kind of the Jim Cramer of analysts. And so maybe that is a good green light for Sofi to be $35 range from here. So who knows? Let me know your general thoughts. But nonetheless, very, very comical stuff. The only other thing that kind of came out that affected Sofi was this. So there was another rating that did come out, but this one was for Upstart. It was from BTIG. They gave a hold rating, and ultimately they did kind of bring up how they were worried about the rapidly increasing delinquencies. And so essentially because of this, and Sofi and Upstart being both considered fintech lenders, people automatically assumed the same for Sofi, even though Anthony's doubled down numerous times, kind of stated otherwise, that we have high FICO scores and whatever else. People still again jump to that conclusion. So in reality, we had two very stupid reasons why Sofi went down, which was rather unfortunate because you did see a lot of the other fintechs really move higher. Robinhood hitting a all-time high, so up 12.27%. Webull also going up 2.57%. So Sofi just got absolutely dragged down. And even during the after hours, it seems to be kind of getting hit a little bit more. As far as shorts, so shorts did ultimately return 512,000 shares. 9.32% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 109.71 million shares overall are being shorted. So for those of you that watch a lot of my channels, I like to bring up up short interest regardless of the stock, because not necessarily because these are squeeze plays, but these are the individuals that are betting on the stock's downfall. So for instance, on a day that a stock goes down, if they return, that goes to show that they feel like it's not justified. So again, by analyzing this, it shows that today's red day shouldn't have happened. And even technically looking here, there's more than 10 million shares to short, and cost to borrow is extremely cheap. So it's cheap to short SoFi. Not promoting it or anything, but if shorts really did feel that there was validity to the most recent rating or kind of the fear about delinquencies, they could easily double down, but again, they didn't. So this is why I like to analyze this type of information. So again, let me know your viewpoint on that. Looking at the options, we had 58 million in calls, 17 million in puts. 46% of all the options being done were bearish in nature. So between 935 and 940, this one stands out. There was 3.6 million in premiums. And so if we kind of look here, most of it was bearish. So there was looks like October 17th, 2025, there was 1.29 million in premiums for that one transaction. And it was a put $25 strike. And so ultimately there, they did buy a put and they paid 56 cents for the premium. So they are saying by October the 17th, it's going to be sub roughly $24.50. So again, kind of crazy that bears seem to be popping out of the woodwork now. So let me know your general thoughts on that in the comments below. Aside from that, from a bull standpoint, you see a consensus for it to be still between that 28.50 and 29. So there still is a lot of optimism, just clearly the frequency a little bit more oriented towards the down. And so right now, based on the bears, there's an anticipation for it to be kind of between that 26 and 26.50. Still though, more upside is anticipated. These are all the transactions that did occur on the secondary market above $100,000. So 3.7, 27.5 million, that one just happened. Every time you see all the nines right there, that is usually just a hedge fund. And we do have a couple days left in Q3, so most likely you'll be seeing a lot more of these types of transactions as hedge funds and institutions will be rebalancing. So again, something to keep in mind. Aside from that, 3.8 million, 1.8, 5.2, a lot of big transactions here. So institutions still paying attention to SoFi. We did have higher volume today, which was a good thing. On the dark pool, we had one just a second ago, 1.1 million, and that seems to be it from them. So again, shorts like to use the dark pool. So probably this is why we don't see any crazy transactions here, but that could change over, again, the next couple of trading days. Jolt numbers will be a big market mover on the side note. With it closing at 27.55, it is trading between this R2 and this R1. So 26.54 is going to be a strong support, followed by 24.25. Flip side, 27.96, and then 30.25 is going to be the next strong target / resistance point. So if you're wanting to average down, swing trade, or whatever else, just kind of orient it towards a lot of these. Aside from all of that fun stuff, quickly going back over here on the actual chart itself, it is still below that 10-day moving average. Nothing really to be concerned over in my opinion, because it looks like we might just be going kind of sideways, similar to what happened in July as well as May. And we both know, or we know that happened in both of those cases. It just went up higher. So today might just be more of a consolidation period, and maybe even this whole week before we do move to the next leg up. So as I've mentioned in the past, I think SoFi is very difficult to catch the bottom as well as the top or bottom. Best thing to do is just all cost average. So do whatever floats your boat, but let me know your viewpoint on that. Comparing the market position from today, from Friday, not really that much, a little bit more willing buyers from like the 27 to 27.50, and then pretty much, yeah, a little bit more willing sellers all the way up to like 28. So anything is possible. This whole week is going to be a lot of big like labor linked data points that could change the dynamic and mentality of rate cuts for the end of October's meeting. So again, it should be a very fun time. So let me know your thoughts on SoFi. What do you view as their like most recent rating? Do you think it's valid? Do you think it's just BS? What's your overall take from today? One final thing, pop over to my Patreon. I do give buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point. Worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. So link to that is in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.